sometimes the issues are hidden. And I think that the OCF is going to do a very good job at bringing awareness to the issues. And once there is awareness, the community can then rally together to come up with solutions to those issues to ensure that no one is left behind and to ensure equitable access to services to those in need.
What we want you to be mindful of in our Vital Signs report for 2015 is that Oakville is a community of contrasts. There's not one Oakville where we're all wealthy, successful, have great careers, luxury cars, and exotic vacations. We want you to be mindful that we're a community of contrasts. This is a tale of two Oakvilles, or if you like Dickens, a tale of two towns. There's a wealthy and a low income, a new and an old, the north and the south. And I want to share that with you today. This year, we're going to focus on the equity gap. And this is one of the most prominent issues in our community, but it's also one that's quite invisible. It's the working poor, the underemployed, those that can't achieve full-time employment. And it leads to a precarious class. This is the segment of the population that is most likely to fall into poverty. And nowhere is the contrast in Oakville more apparent than in incomes. Oakville is home to the highest and the lowest incomes in Halton region. Affordable housing is usually defined that less than 30% of your income is spent on shelter, and then you have enough left over for daily needs. Well, in Oakville, we have the highest percentage of households in Halton that were spending more than 30% of their income on shelter. Our third issue, which looks at the changing face of Oakville and of Canada. Canada is a country of First Nations and immigrants, as we know, and the percentage of Canadians born outside of our country is now 1 in 5. With an aging population and declining birth rate, more and more of our population growth is going to come from immigration. By 2031, it's predicted that immigrants will account for 80% of Canada's population growth. And surprisingly, to me at least, it currently counts for 67%. Inclusion and diversity is much more than visible minorities. Inclusion is also about language, religion, sexual orientation, gender, age, and disability. And for older adults who need age-appropriate services and opportunities to be with their peers, organizations like the Sir John Colborne Centre for Seniors are available. And that's one of the great assets we have in our community. Sexual orientation is also an area where we need to make sure everyone feels included. There is growing awareness, but members of the LGBTQ community have identified that they often don't feel safe here. Thanks to more open discussions and efforts to reduce the stigma of mental health, more people are seeking treatments. Families are finding support, and new conversations have started about the impact of mental health issues and addictions on children and youth development, immigration, employment, and older adults. We need to collaborate, and we need to collaborate to come together as a community to support the people in need. Often people have multiple challenges facing them. Did you notice the interconnection between a lot of the pillars? Lack of affordable housing leads to the equity gap. 85% of those suffering from mental illness are unemployed, and that immigrant families increased challenges related to mental illness. So how are we going to deal with these complex issues? The first thing we recognize we must do is we must walk the talk of this report. So today, I'm pleased to announce that the Foundation has made a number of changes to our community funds grants. Starting with our name, we're going to be the Vital Community Fund. And we're going to make the administration on the charities less cumbersome so they can focus on their clients. So what does that mean? Well, first off, we're getting rid of the letter of intent. There's only going to be a one-phase, one application process. And we're only going to have one round of grants, not two. So I want to leave you with one lasting image about the role we can all play together in our community of contrasts. We're looking to build bridges with these pillars between our two Oakvilles, wealthy and low income, have and have-nots, new Oakville and long-term residents, LGBTQ and straight community, north and south, old and young. We see ourselves as bridge builders in our community, as we hope others in the audience today will see their role too, and join us in Vital Signs 2.0 discussions.
This was a great bit of information for us to go ahead and plan new programs and reach out to the community.
is great to hear what the OCF says, because their reports are substantiating what we're doing and things that we're trying to support in the community.
I think it shows the community what is lacking, and that there are things that need to be done, and that we as a community and individuals in the community can do our bit, no matter what it is, with time, with treasure, with our talents, to help improve our community.
Well, the causes that I'm involved with is really making sure that Oakville is a greater place to live for everybody. So a lot of the concepts that were introduced today we've seen in the past, but it's interesting to see the progress that we're making, or the lack of progress that we're making. So it really sort of inspires me to make sure that we get more and more people involved in understanding what really is happening in Oakville.